Who's around right now, baby, right now? Do an improv, baby, right now, now, now. Who's around right now, baby, right now? Do an improv, baby, right now, 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 now.
Oh, hello.
Hi, LG. Happy Snake Exodus Day.
Happy Snake Exodus Day to you.
Baby thought that was very
Katie Booker in the comments, I think, might find that funny because Katie has a jumping snakes bit at one point. Top of the morning to y'all.
Top of the afternoon to y'all. That's it's the Irish accent. I have the ability to say it for about half a second, and then it fades out into maybe Welsh. I don't even know where the accent goes.
Welsh is like it's either Anthony Hopkins or
That's my understanding as well. Very, very in tune to that.
You know what? It's probably got to do with all of the snakes, right?
Oh, snake is nice.
Okay, I need you to explain to the audience what that says, because it sounds like, what snake is this? And that's not what it is.
Wait.
Oh, snake is nice.
You hear it, right?
I hear it now. I hear it now.
You hear it sounds like, what snake is this? Which is also appropriate.
What snake is this?
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to say sneaky snakes.
Sneaky snakes. Speaking of Snake Exodus, everybody, sneaky snakes. So we picked this theme today. Firstly, as a joke about St. Patrick's Day, because St. Patrick supposedly ridded Ireland of snakes. We are going to check with our guest today to find out if there are actually snakes in Ireland. I'm not sure if that's even true.
We have an expert.
We have an expert in the house, but we also would never. We also picked this theme because we found out about some snakes in Rhode Island that are troublesome, and snakes, of course, are a metaphor. Not actual snakes are fine. I'm not a big fan of actual snakes, but these snakes in Rhode Island who are trying to pass two bills that would both limit critical race theory, limit education in the schools, trying to get the schools to not be allowed to teach critical race theory, which is just history.
Which is and
historical facts
in the most bizarre ways possible.
Yes,
including just some passages that they're so ridiculous. The author didn't even bother.
We're bringing them out. We're going to talk about them on this show. And the other bill, and I think both bills actually have language for both of them in there, because I think they're trying to sneak them both in, like sneaky snakes are. So they're both against critical race theory, and they're both against trans students, I think specifically, using their pronouns, using their names. They want to only dead name them, only allow their birth certificate pronouns, and also that they have to, it's basically get the parent, you know how the Florida bill is like, they have to tell the parent if they're coming out to their students, they have to tell the parent. So this would be the same thing. So in order for someone who's trans, for the teacher to use their name and their pronouns appropriately, they have to get parental permission, which can be very dangerous for these kids, depending on where they're at. Yes, so this is, children shall be addressed using their common names and pronouns associated with their biological gender.
What is that even?
Paternal or guardian permission to do otherwise is obtained. So, in that, yeah, what was that? Yeah, so that's that can be very, very dangerous. And also banning critical race theory, which has banning this in the past. This has not been taught enough in our schools. And this is really putting, like, these lives are at risk because of this, because yes, Black people, brown people die because there's not enough education about this because racism is still allowed to thrive, white supremacist lives. So individual, by virtue of his or her race, does not bear responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. I'm so suspicious of this, and I've been trying to do a little deep dive. And those of you who like to Google things, I implore you to do this. I started Googling today Patricia L. Morgan, who is the backbone of this bill, trying to build. She was actually born in Ohio. I don't know why she is in Rhode Island. Controversy. She is also, it's just fashion. There's nothing biological about it. It's like fashion and roles and damn snakes, right, Trevor? Yeah. So she is 71, also too, like too old to be doing this job. I don't know why politicians don't have like a cap, an age cap. Like,
I'm fine with the age, with it's the tenure. I am pro anyone of any age. It's the she's only been in the current office that she holds now for 1 year, but she was in the other branch. She was in the House side before that.
Yeah.
These are what you're looking at are some of the these are some of the longest tenured members of our General Assembly. So in Rhode Island, we have a House and a Senate, and we've got, in order, we've got, like some 9 years, 11 years, getting to be over a decade. There's my rep, John Edwards, been there 13. The bottom row, we're starting to get into 23 years. We've got, but what do you think? What's the highest that you think it gets up to? The person who has been serving the longest currently. How many years do you think that they've been serving?
So I saw the slide earlier, so I don't know if I should guess on this one, but I'll say what I probably would have thought before was less. So I think I probably would have thought before, like maybe 30 years, thinking like, can't be more than that, right?
Right?
Oops, sorry, the baby.
It actually can be. Oh, look, you did get it better. Oh, it's so good.
Sorry, the baby slapped some things, and we added our special guest too early.
The baby says you got to be in there, so you got to be.
Baby says you're on. Baby says you're on. Sorry.
We've got a very accurate guess as well. We think we've got 42 just because, but that's a great number. But also, SIOBHAN, welcome.
Welcome.
SIOBHAN, did you know the longest serving member of our state legislature has been serving for 37 years in a row. And he's the president of the Senate, and his name is Dominic Rubbers Ruggiero.
Yeah. I did not. I had no idea.
I had to explain to my mother, my beautiful, beautiful, wholesome mother, why he's called Rubbers.
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you either of you know?
I saw the slide earlier. Yeah, I did. I do know. I'm sorry. Don't prep me for the show, LG, if you don't want me to know information. I blame this. Don't prep me.
If I had had a rubber, I might have been able to contain the nut that I busted too early. Look at this. This is just, I just want to remind everyone every once in a while that one of the most powerful people in the state, not that I, believe in the carceral system, but I do think it's funny that he was accused of stealing shoplifting condoms from CVS and was arrested, I believe, but it was not, the charges were dropped, if I'm correct. This is an article from 1991, I think. It was while he was serving, and he continued to serve. He serves us still. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. And I just love that one of his constituents there, I have blurred out their name because I do not know them, replied to one of his Twitter things with, "Is that you, Rubbers?" But he tagged Duncan Prov and Hasbro Children's Hospital for some reason. Why?
And it is in fact Rubbers. So but yeah, so thanks, SIOBHAN, for joining us on our show today.
Thanks so much.
We pulled you on early for one reason only. Number one, Pepper can reach the keys on the computer keyboard that we are sitting in front of. Number two, you're also here helping us play some short form games, celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and exodize. Is that the verb? I think so. Exodize snakes.
Sure.
Oh, snake is nice.
I really can't even hear sneaky snakes. I can only hear what snake is this.
No,
Exactly.
now it is what snake is this. Now that's
Yeah.
officially.
It's
I'm
not.
changing the blue dress to gold.
Yep. So we are we are talking about these bills that are coming up because we wanted to alert some people. We wanted to inform people just in case folks are unaware about this, because there's actually I saw today a meeting, a rally, I don't know what it would be called, at Brood Awakenings for people who oppose critical race theory. Brood Awakenings is a local coffee shop, a small business, which you're like, yay, support, but we are no longer supporting Brood Awakenings because they on Wednesday, March 16th, which is, oh, that was yesterday. Dang. Okay. That was yesterday. Good job reading the
These
post,
things
Melissa.
happen so fast.
But at Brood Awakenings, they were hosting events opposing teaching about race and racism in schools, which is just, you don't expect this in Rhode Island. I'll say I keep myself in a beautiful bubble of like-minded people. And sometimes I forget that Rhode Island isn't really a blue state. It is a, as LG calls it, a purple state.
If I could leave anybody with a message today, it is guessing games are great, and Pepper can reach the keyboard now. And also, we are not a blue state as much as people think. We can't let the excuse of, oh, it's going to die in committee, it doesn't matter. That's not an excuse anymore when so many of these bills are passing other places. Rhode Island, if we were a blue state, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't
brought up. But we created a quiz game for it to give you some more information and to make it more fun. Also, and just for those of you who live near me, you might have gotten this piece of mail. I'm going to bring it up there. If you got this in your mail, it's got a little survey that you can actually answer. And that's a real easy way to say, hey, I'm against these things in this survey, because for some reason, none of the questions in the survey talk about these bills. Isn't that interesting? Interesting.
McNamara. I've seen that name before. Hang on. Was he? Oh, he's been serving for 27 years. Most of those he has not been opposed when he has ran. Oh, that's fascinating.
And he, I believe, is the head of the education committee. Is that correct?
Joe McNamara is head of the education committee. So
he will be, yes, so he will definitely be involved in this bill. So this is a very easy way. If you live near me, this is in your mailbox right now, and you can fill out this constituent survey and find out. Yeah, Brood Awakenings have been, they are pro-Trump, and yeah, Pepper's gonna eat the envelope. See, when she was eating the envelope, it was fine. She wasn't accidentally bringing people on air, but we are on air. We are leaning into this. So SIOBHAN, we are going to have you guess these quizzes. Audience, you may play along. We will check out your answers as well. We're going to quiz you on some things that maybe you don't know about what's going on in the world right now, what's going on in America, where we can do something about it.
And if you do, that's great. There's no wrong way to play.
Who knows? I may or may not. Yeah. I feel like there's lots of Rhode Island things I don't know. I'm still learning. It just moved, from my own little bubble of the San Francisco Bay Area. So I existed in that tiny little bubble. And you definitely hear, like, there's more. It's hard to be in a tiny bubble. There's a lot more cross-pollination,
It's, yeah. Yes, I totally agree.
Better or worse.
Better for worse.
Degrees of separation are like 3, is what it.
Yeah. Which is like, kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time.
Yeah. Well, these questions are all about what brings us together as a country in a not great way, but we are going to talk afterwards about what we can do to fix it. We're not going to leave anybody high and dry on that. And if you have to go, this will be up on YouTube and you can see the happy ending after. Okay. Are you ready to play, SIOBHAN?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. This first question, this is a game called Which State Are We In? And this is a text from a bill. Says schools shall not use the 1619 project curriculum or any other curricula that pursues a predominantly ideological end.
Yeah.
What are you thinking right off the bat?
Oh, Pepper, what do I say? I mean, right off the bat, you know, can I see it again? Can I see it one more
yes.
time? All
Yeah,
right.
leave it up there. And audience, if you want to take a guess, you may. I'm going to give you something too I found out today. Patricia L. Morgan, who is a big writer of this bill, she went to college both in Mississippi and Ohio.
Oh.
Just putting that out there. I'm not going to say that I was trying to find old yearbooks to find her, see if I could find her in blackface, but I was. And just because I just have a feeling that either her or someone she's related to there is some sort of controversial picture out there, and that's why she's trying to pass this stuff, because I feel like people are more driven by their self-interest, and anybody who understands this curriculum is like, obviously, this is good to teach. Yes.
Well,
yeah. Miowa Island that's pretty good. That's a really good guess.
My instinct was that Mississippi would be too obvious, so I was going to go with Iowa.
Iowa's a great guess.
Iowa's a great guess.
Mississippi's too clearly, like, yeah, too obvious. And
I'm gonna
Rhode Island, because like then it would be, I don't know. So anyway, I was going to go with Iowa just to mix things up.
You are absolutely correct. And you know who else is correct? Everyone else. There's a whole bunch of states. It was Rhode Island. That is Patricia Morgan's bill. That's directly the text from there, but it actually comes from
oh my God,
a bunch of other places. And these as well. These are all of the legislation that either has been introduced or passed regarding specifically 1619 project, not necessarily other stuff, but fascinating. So you are correct.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have been correct with like 3 of those guesses.
All four were correct.
Oh, all 4. Okay, great.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll say it again. Damn snakes.
Yeah,
damn snakes.
Okay. You ready to jump into another one?
Bring on the darkness.
What state are we in, SIOBHAN? Meritocracy. This is a hard one. Hippocrates. Meritocracy or traits such as hard work ethic are not racist, but fundamental to the right to pursue happiness and be rewarded for industry. So, open question. Not trying to trick you. Just what state do you think this is? It's got a real pull them up by your bootstraps vibe, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What state are we in? I'm gonna say we are in
I agree.
The United Snakes of America.
Yes.
We are the United Snakes of America. That is the correct answer, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
With the United States of America.
Oh, look at this wholesome guess, Texas. You would think.
I was gonna, like, my most plot twisty answer was gonna be Wisconsin, because I was like, it's not like, but you know, that was my plot twisty answer was Wisconsin. Who would think? But
who would think?
I don't want to give away question 3, but we'll have to check back in on that.
Quick story about Texas while we're waiting for some more guesses to come in from the audience. I was teaching a workshop down there about comedy, and one of the topics that comes up is about how comedy can expose some of our biases, because for better or worse, it does. And we're talking about how biases sometimes are formed from like a bit of data that you have. Like you're like, you know, the example I use is I once dated an Eric, it didn't work out. And from then on, I was like, no more Erics ever again, because you're like, oh, and that makes sense in your brain. You're like, yeah, right, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know, one student raised his hand and was like, but what if you've seen scientific studies proving that your race is superior to other races? And I was like, you are asking this as a genuine question.
oh man, yeah.
This is not long enough ago. I'm only 39. This was not in the 20s, or I don't even know. I mean, never acceptable. But yeah, wow. This was, I think it was 2018, maybe 2017. And it was a moment of like, this is you're genuinely asking this question right now. And he was like, yeah, I was like, so
what do you say to someone?
It was I'll be honest, I think my face was like, for a little while. And then I, took a breath and I was like, okay, well, so basically I just talked about how data and scientific studies can be very misleading and, data can be cherry picked. And then also some scientific studies, you need to check the sources because sometimes the sources are really unreputable or they're paid for by the wrong things, and, try to see, is it peer reviewed, because a lot of these things. And then at the time I was like, what in the world could this student be talking about? And then I did some Google searching. There have been some, scientific studies in the mid to late 1800s that were like the phrenology stuff that were like measuring head shapes and things in order to prove, that enslaving people was an okay practice. So the student was like, I've seen it. That was my cell phone. And she's fine. It's fine.
She's bored with the keyboard.
Yeah. But anyways, let's answer this question.
I saw a comment. If Katie says if it's Rhode Island, I will throw my phone.
Pepper will do it for you, Katie. Don't worry.
It's Florida and Rhode Island.
Wow.
This is again same bill. H7539, written by Patricia Morgan. But what I did in my digging last night is do some Google searching on, binging or what have you, dogpiling. She lifted it, parts of it wholesale from a Florida bill. Almost exclusively. The words that she changed were like she changed person to individual.
Well, because you don't want to plagiarize. Plagiarism is such a terrible thing. And that's not what Patricia L. Morgan, born August 25th, 1950, does not plagiarize. Okay.
And she went to the University of
Mississippi State, graduated from Kent State in Ohio, and then also attended Providence College and Rhode Island College.
So a local? You know what?
Well, she was not born here, but she is, as local as other people who are totally fine. I'm not saying it's, born here or bust, but you don't have to be born in Rhode Island to be awesome.
No,
but you do have to not be like that.
You have to not
yeah. Sorry about your phone, Katie.
Sorry
about your phone, Katie. Yeah, plagiarism just won't stand. It's not going to stand in this meritocracy. Meritocracy.
Let's go to the third one.
Meritocracy.
Let's go to the
Irish way.
Let's go to the third one. What state are we in? This one's just a bunch of bullshit. We don't even need to go through. It's all incorrect information about trans stuff. So just if you had to guess, specifically sports related, and
I do want to summarize it because it is fascinating. I mean, it's garbage language, right? But it's basically any sports they should expressly designate as one of the following based on biological sex: males, men, or boys; females, women, or girls; or co-ed or mixed. And then athletic teams or sports designated for females, women, or girls shall not be open to students of the male sex. So they are really, really trying to hammer this home.
Yes. And they call it the Fairness in Women's Sports Bill.
Yeah. I know. They're just sticking up for women.
Katie is onto something, wondering if it is an ALEC bill, because as is revealed in the answer, not that group, but similar. But what do you think? If you had to guess, I'm so sorry to do this to you. What do you think?
Oh my God. I'm going to say that this is happening in Arizona.
What a great guess.
What a great guess. Again,
great guess.
It's hot, it's dry. Maybe, there's they're not thinking clearly.
Their hockey is terrible. They're angry.
There's parts of it that are elevated. You have to bake your brownies differently. That really throws people off. Yeah.
The dry heat messes with the weed. It was all of them. It was
I should know that by now. I think I should know that by now.
This, I have to tell you, this is very confusing. Buller helped me make this less confusing because it looks like, hey, Rhode Island's not on that list. There were 30 states on this list and it was still outdated. There are more, including West Virginia is actually outdated on this list because it actually is law now. And one of the things that Katie mentioned is there are groups out there that just help write legislation and factory farm it and give it to other people who don't know how to write that.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, look at this. I just want you guys to wow, isn't that so fascinating. Apropos of nothing. Just kidding. It's the text of Rhode Island's Senate bill, which is in front of the Judiciary Committee, Senate Judiciary Committee.
Yeah, so this act would categorize women by their biological identity at birth rather than their gender identity for the purpose of organized sports. For the purpose of sports, for sports. A team must be categorized as male, men, or boys, females, women, or girls, or co-ed or mixed.
Gross. Also, what do you notice about the co-sponsors?
Yeah, if there is a dispute, a student may establish sex by presenting a signed physician statement that shall indicate the student's sex. Also, this erases anyone who's intersex.
Completely.
This completely erases anyone. And intersex is as prevalent as redheads. So if you know a redheaded person, you probably know someone who's intersex. That's how prevalent it is in our population for someone to be intersex. And this bill completely erases that large of a portion of our population. Speaking of Irish people. Back full circle.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Full circle.
You know who does a lot of work with intersex advocacy, who I really think is, I'm jealous I don't live in this person's district. You used to live in their district, Buller. Do you want to say whose district? Mack. Tierra Mack. Now, Tierra Mack, Representative Tierra Mack, used to be friends with Patricia Morgan.
Wow.
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 Just being white.
This is too much. This is like, I'm sorry.
This is Rhode Island.
What did you say about it being a smaller pool, Siobhan?
Yeah, for better or worse. It's well, I mean, what I mean by that is that you kind of have to work with those people. So like you're forced to find some way through despite bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious how that happens, or if it just doesn't, which is.
It's interesting because these are, sometimes you see these people at the grocery store when you're on a milk and bread run, or you're like, I definitely sent you an email with a piece of my mind, but we're both out of toilet paper. And isn't that great and terrible? My parents did get a nasty email from an elected official who shall not be named. It was my elected official, and it's fine because he sent it from the account. Basically like, hey, your kid is complaining. And it's like, what do you mean the email? The worded email that was copy pasted from another source advocating for the passage or denial of certain bill? Like, oh, that was annoying to you in your job?
So wait, can I say, so your parents got like an email from an elected official being like, your kid's making my job harder, and it was you sending in one of these emails about like stopping one of these kinds of bills?
I think he was a little butthurt
that he knew the parents
that he was getting this is a lot of conjecture, but I think that it was at a time that a lot of people had started emailing again, and it became like, we want to bring that back. We want people to start being annoying again and have a lot of emails coming out. It's their job. They get paid $15,000 a year to do that. It's a pot of gold. This is my pot of gold that I'm giving away for free.
Well, we are back. I'm sorry. I missed some of that. The baby started fussing. We are back again, but I trust all of this that's happening. I think the leprechaun's coming into view.
Oh, man.
All right. So back to the damn snakes. Oh, can we bring up the call to what people can do about this? So what can people do about this?
Yes.
If you've gotten that envelope that I flashed before that I can no longer retrieve, the baby has thrown it somewhere. But you can email some people. You're just going to basically write, I'm against those two bills, and sign your name. You can write whatever you want to write. You can add in whatever fun things. Here's a great one. If you want to screenshot this now, you can screenshot this now and you can copy this later at your leisure. And this can make it a little bit more formal.
This is mine that I did. It's not, you can take, I did both of those very quickly. So I should actually probably check this before I email it, because I'm going to like attach a reference sheet because I got really pissed.
Right.
Well, and then it's McNamara, so you can also say Happy St. Patrick's Day.
You can also say Happy St. Patrick's Day. Dear McNamara, Happy St. Patrick's Day, number one. Number two, you need
Right? Like
to oppose. Yes, right. Lovely
Right.
greeting. Related, because a lot of people who are against this are like, we don't want our kindergartners to be taught sexuality. It's too young. It's too young, right? Blah, blah, blah. As if that's what's happening. It's a really complete misrepresentation. But it's so funny to me because
we're not already educating them.
As if we're not already educating them towards heterosexuality. But here's the thing, right? And we were watching Happy Feet, which is a penguin movie, a penguin-based film. We started to watch Happy Feet the other day, and I noticed that on the mom penguin in the opening scenes there's a little penguin that's born with happy feet, he tap dances. We haven't actually finished the movie. We've only watched like the first 20 minutes of it. But this is what I know so far is that he's got happy feet that tap dance around. They're like, but you're different. And I'm sure there's going to be a moral at the end, but it's not the point. The mom, his mom, that little penguin's mom, they gave her boobs. They gave her breast shape. Like they gave her an hourglass figure and cleavage, penguin cleavage.
Boobs.
Now, for the audio, for those of you playing at home, maybe you don't know this, but boobs
Yes.
are for mammals. They're for, I'm using one right now for my mammalian purpose, which is making milk for a mammal, right? And boobs only, occur on, they don't occur on birds. They occur on humans. And I'm just like, animals. Do you see this? Look at those boobs.
I'll bring boobs.
Why does she have
There is
Wow.
wow. You could put a credit card in there.
Yeah.
Why does she have, like, I know so many people with so many humans with smaller breasts than that penguin. And that is not, that's, my penguins have tits. I don't care to see them. Yeah. I mean, I agree, Chloe. Sure. But like, why? So they were like, oh, we better make sure everybody knows this is a lady penguin. Let's give her boobs. Penguins I cannot stress this enough in the audience. Penguins don't have boobs.
I want to point out that
boobs.
That is the worst thing about that. The second worst thing is that you would not be under under Patricia Morgan's bill. You would not actually be allowed to watch that story because it centers a penguin and a penguin viewpoint, which under number 5 there, books and instructional materials may not center any race, ethnicity, gender, religion, or viewpoint. So none of the things here could be read. Also, this is a great time for me to bring up my favorite part. No exclusive focus or centering on the curricula. Oh, wait. No. History shall be taught using the standards, customs, and traditions in use at time of the historical event. Up top. I don't know what that means.
Wait, can you read that up top again? Because I have the live symbol over it. I can't read that.
It says, history shall be taught using the standards, customs, and traditions in use at the time of the cultural event.
At the time of the cultural event?
So like the historical event, yeah.
So like, say for example, during the Holocaust, you would use the traditions at the time of the Holocaust to teach about it?
Right, but you could not, well,
so does this mean, if it was in ye olden English times, we have to talk in ye olden English? Like,
that's kind of like what does it mean? It could mean that. She could mean that.
If you're teaching, let's say you're teaching about ancient Egypt, and you'd be like, so like this pharaoh was also a god.
Well, but it says you have to teach in the ways of the time. So it's like if you're teaching about Egypt, it's like you can only read on papyrus. You know,
Papyrus,
you
that's it.
only have
Yes.
cuneiform, and like you're out of luck if you don't understand that. No, I also think number 5 is kind of funny because number 5 is like it will not center on any one race or ethnicity or gender or religion. And we all know like what perspective history, most of our history books are written in, where they're centered, right? So it's like, yeah, it's gonna center somewhere. Like, sorry, that's just how things are written. They are centered in a place. And so you try to center it from multiple places so that then it's more decentralized, you guys. Because right now there's a center. And
There's a center.
There's a center.
There's a center.
It's not an ooey gooey like Cadbury not sponsored cream egg for
that's like I don't see color. I mean,
that is, yeah. Yep. It's right in that
That's
same.
like that.
Oh, you know, Trisha Morgan is like one of those don't see colors people.
Yeah. Well, she is because she was so sad, you know. I had a black friend.
I had one.
I
Yeah,
think
one.
me too. There's just
it's just the one, but because she's white. But just to get back to the really important stuff, no bird boobs.
No poobs.
Nope. Stop
No
it.
boobs.
No
it.
poobs.
So
Entanglement
this is a
3,
science
I think,
teacher. I
is
just need
probably a
to
band.
credential this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just to credential this.
The lucky bosom
few. And penguins.
Snakes. What about snakes? Snake boobs?
Snake boobs? I would bet snakes probably have boobs. If I'm going to see a film about snake boobs, I need to know. How would I know which one's the female? Besides the eye?
Oh, snake is nice.
They're so sneaky about it.
What snake is this? Snake is this?
Let's
I just realized it is 1:40. How in the world has this show gone on this long? We're going to get to our guessing games, everybody. Thanks for hanging on.
Hey, go check out the legislator website. It will tell you how to get in contact with your state reps and your state senators. It will tell you who's on which committees, so that if you have tracked a bill and it is, for example, in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee right now, like S2501 is, you could email the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, or you could email Joe McNamara, the head of the House Committee on Education, which is where H7539 is currently sitting.
And start with Happy St. Patrick's Day, and then
it's open with the Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Otherwise, you won't read it.
Oh, he's not going to read it. No, absolutely not. That should be the subject line. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Then he'll click on it.
Yeah.
Also, about the snakes. I don't know if in the guessing games we're talking about snakes and St. Patrick's Day, but there is a very likelihood that the snakes were not snakes, right? We know the snakes when he banished the snakes. It's not snakes, literal snakes.
No, I do not know this.
Dragon?
Can you explain this, please? I don't know what you're talking about. I love hearing this.
Not banishing like literal snakes, because science mostly agrees that there were not snakes in Ireland for him to banish, that the snakes were pagans. Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, snake is nice.
Yeah,
okay, I'm starting to hear the sneaky snakes. I'm just starting.
It's the 11th or the 12th. Round.
You really got to listen. You really got to listen.
He was big on bringing the Christianity into Ireland and not so hot on the paganism. So it's very complicated. Just like with all Irish stories, it's like there's 17 different versions of it. But one version is that it has a lot more to do with, getting rid of pagans and druids than it does with actual snakes. It's not.
So you can confirm snakes. There are no snakes on Ireland currently. There's no snakes on Ireland. Just like because there's no snakes on New Zealand
either. Like there are no cats in America because the streets are paved with cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah.
This joke is only for Chloe. Chloe, I told you that was a ghost cat we saw yesterday. I told you that was a ghost cat. Okay.
Okay, go look up your people on the legislature website. Tell them this. And it's important that we don't just let it die in committee. We should make a big stink of it, in my opinion, because it can happen in Rhode Island. It is happening in Rhode Island. We are not a blue state. We are a purple state. Want to play some games, guys, folks?
Yes. Yes. So I'd like to play, speaking of snakes and snakes, because snakes shed their skins. Essay sounds. We're going to play a game called Old Job, New Job. So in this game, we are going to send SIOBHAN into the site-proof booth. You don't have to go there yet. We'll explain that. And what we're going to do is that SIOBHAN will have had an old job that she used to have. And then when we bring her back to the site-proof, she's going to be involved with LG and I in our all current jobs that we all have. So we'll be performing that current job and giving SIOBHAN clues about what her old job was, and she's going to guess that through conversation and improv and just amazing stage presence.
Improvisation.
So, old job, new jobs. So SIOBHAN, all you got to do to go into our site-proof booth is click over to any other tab and just click out of this window momentarily. You can check your email. You can buy a couch from IKEA.
You could look up the Rhode Island General Assembly.
You can look up the Rhode Island legislative list. You can look up who's in your district.
Yeah.
You know, now that you live here, you're gonna be a voter come next election.
Okay.
So you can click over on every tab. Once you're there, let us know. And then, audience, what we need for you is some suggestions of professions, any kind of occupations that we can use for suggestions. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull them up onto the screen when those that we pick. SIOBHAN will not be able to see those, but that way, audience, you will know which ones we've picked. LG and I will know. So what we're going to do, so just to review those rules again, SIOBHAN's going to have a former job that she's going to be trying to guess. LG and I are going to give you clues. And then we also need a new job, our current job. For old job, new jobs, snake shedding skins, and such.
Oh, snake is nice.
Yeah.
I heard. No,
now I definitely heard it. Now I definitely heard the.
No, but I'm going back on it. It's definitely like, what snake is this? I've definitely. I recorded it. Now I'm like, did I?
Did you say? What snake is snake?
We've got some. I've got to remember not to say these out loud.
Don't say them. Don't say them out loud. I love them all already. This is already great. Yeah, I'm still wondering, is it sneaky snakes? Yeah, hearing the O at the start changes it. I totally agree, Jordan. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Jordan's really sneaky snakes.
I've got that.
Can't wait to not patron Brood Awakenings too. I actually don't really go there anyways. They're both out of my way, all the locations, but still now I definitely won't. Because Bald Hill I sometimes go to, but I won't go there.
Any of these jumping out at you, Bowler?
All right, so I love. Let's do this. I would love this one to be our current job. This should be our current job. All three of us.
That's the one I just laughed at. Okay.
Great. And I think the former job. I think let's go with this one. Oh wait, this one, because it's a nice, very different thing. So audience, this is the former job. This is what SIOBHAN's going to be guessing, and then currently. This is going to be our job. And we'll just leave this comment up so that we can bring SIOBHAN back. So SIOBHAN, audience, wait, SIOBHAN, don't come back. Don't listen to me.
Please flood.
Audience, please flood the chat with some emojis so that we can get rid of this material so SIOBHAN can't see the guesses. Doesn't have any ideas.
Also, now I wish I had queued up the video for. Do you guys mushroom, snake? Which is also there was a Harry Potter. Badger, mushroom. But there was.
I do not remember this.
There was a Harry Potter one that was Snape. You know what?
Well, no. Yay! All right.
Okay, I think we've badgered.
All right, SIOBHAN, come on back from the site-proof booth.
I'm gonna say it's dangerous to Google image search boobs on animated animal characters. I'm gonna say that's That's a dangerous thing.
Only if you have deviant art as a
Can you believe? I mean, I don't know. I just never noticed it before, but I was just
I'm
like,
not ready for the Google image searches.
fucking boobs on the penguin.
I just got.
How will you know that that's the lady?
That's
if
the
they don't
lady.
have boobs?
Hi, you two.
And she was so sexualized too. She was so sexualized. And it's like, we don't want our kids to be learning that people, like some of their classmates might have 2 moms or 2 dads, but they better know that those penguins fuck like that. I don't understand.
Don't say gay, but do have bazongas.
Yeah, it's
Only one of them can have
only one
bazongas.
of them.
And they
So
have
we Ireland. Okay, dear Joe McNamara, happy St. Patrick's Day. Dear Patricia Morgan, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Patricia Morgan.
We want to treat you like a pagan in Ireland, and we are St. Patrick. This is a snake metaphor. Okay, so we are nose. Oh, right in there. Right in there. This is the St. Patrick's tradition. She's going to go for both nostrils. This is what she's recently is trying to learn the word nose, and just really, we are Chuck E. Cheese band members, all 3 of us. You're going to be guessing your former job. We will be giving you clues about it through our conversation. But for now, we're just going to start off our scene as our Chuck E. Cheese band members, at rehearsal, I would imagine.
Great.
Ready?
Yeah.
Begin. A bunga 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 bunga. I just
sounds great.
It broke, so I have to make the noises for my 2 bass strings vocally.
I love it though. It's great.
Can you tell that it's me making the noises with my mouth?
No, you can't tell.
Bunga bunga. Bunga bunga.
Right.
Oh, I love that.
I've got a little hat dance.
Is that a new move? I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
Got like an articulation in there that you didn't have before break. Hey!
Yeah.
This is better than
so straight up too. Your head is like really straight up there. It's nice. Yeah, I love that. It's good. It looks good. I think it pairs well with the hat.
Yeah.
It's it's good for posture. And you know what? Honestly, if we can teach kids stuff, teaching them great posture is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's saving a lot of work down the line,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a twist back and forth motion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Don't do it with something heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get way less pizza thrown at us if we do this well, I think
it's good. I think it's really good. Really good. Yeah.
What are the hours like again here? Are they better than my last job? Because my last job was yikes.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, it's gonna be way easier than that. Way better than your last job, because this is only the whole place only opens at 10 a.m. So it's not going to be as early mornings as I'd imagine. You were probably probably at least starting at 8:30 or 9. I would imagine. With you were private practice. You were private practice, is that correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. None of that public stuff.
Yeah.
Your own
that is. So we get to sleep in a little bit, though we do have to work through dinner, but it's kid dinner. So we're done. We're done. Like, rush is over by 7:30 and they don't like to pay us any more than that. So we're off the stage. Once we're off the stage, we're out, and we do get breaks during the slow times. Like right around 1 p.m. it really slows down, 1 or 2, and we can take the heads off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because I don't know if I had to wear anything particular.
Well, I imagine probably
wear a giant. Like I don't.
No, I mean, I think that would really encumber your work if you did. I mean, because you have to be able to see everything, and it's so hands-on. Your work is so hands-on. I mean,
gloves with only 3 fingers. It makes it hard to do a lot of things. Play the fake bass, and what you did.
Yeah, align anybody, really. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I mean I think that's just something. Yeah, I mean this job, I think that it's got to be less stress, And also in this job, if you hear something crack, you know immediately that's bad.
That's bad.
You know, and that's going to be very different. Whereas before, you had to like, you wanted that, but this job, you wouldn't even want. And if you hear something crack, probably an instrument breaking, probably one of the fake stools, one of those fake props, one of those fake sets.
Not enough balls in the ball pit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's not as life or death as my last job, right?
Well, I mean, don't give yourself that much credit, but I mean, you know, I mean
it is technically a pseudoscience. Just,
Okay.
I mean, not.
I mean, it's very useful and helpful.
I mean, no, I mean, I like, I know.
I don't know.
No, people get great results. I've heard people get great results, but it is.
Yeah. It's a billing thing. It's a billing thing. It's a billing thing.
It is technically a pseudoscience.
You don't tell anybody.
I won't. Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. No, I mean it's not a well looked upon industry. It wasn't really, I don't think, but is what we're doing.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. Okay.
You put on the suit. You play the music.
Yeah.
You bring happy. That's all. Who doesn't have great childhood memories of?
Yeah. You know, you're right. You make a kid smile. You might make one kid smile. You might make another kid cry, but like at least they're feeling something. You know?
Yeah, and you know, and also, not for nothing, you could probably drum up a side business because a lot of the parents here that come here, they're having pain. You know what I mean? And if you see them like, oh, or like, oh, you can be like, hey,
yeah.
Quick consult, $50 cash. People will pay it. If you're in pain, you'll pay it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We provide a service that is like entertaining the children so that they get some, 5 minutes of relief.
You're right. You know, I got bored being a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little boring.
I got that. This is I'm really glad that you switched careers, and
Me too.
I wasn't totally sure, but you know what you're saying about the kids is true. Like you're living on the edge. You don't know how they're going to respond. And when you're a chiropractor, it's kind of like, you know what it's like. It's like, that's.
Yeah. And would you mind cracking my back? Would you mind? Could I just come over and you can just give me a quick crack?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, truth be told, you might not want me to. I did get sued actually. So.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. Good.
That is why you are in the band. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yay!
Nice landing, Siobhan.
Skin to reveal your former chiropractor. I guess once you shed the chiropractor skin and now you're a band. I don't understand.
Oh, snake is nice.
Okay, I don't know why not looking at it made me rehear what is the snakes.
What is the snakes?
I don't know.
Pagans.
Pagans are the snakes.
What is pagans?
Fucking nature-loving, tree-hugging fairy people.
We've learned so much on this episode. In no order of importance. Just in random order. Number 1, pagans are snakes. Number 2, penguins do not have breasts.
But they still fucking.
Yes. Number 3, Rhode Island is a purple state, and we need to do stuff to shift that tide. Number 4, rilegislature.gov is where you can go. You can find out who you want to email. You can send them a mass email. You could BCC them and send them all like that. It's so easy with email. If you've got multiple emails, you can send it to them, multiple copy and paste, because every single one of the emails that they get that represents a squeaky wheel, they have a little formula meaning like, oh, we know that means approximately 5 people are angry enough, like that one of them sent an email in. So if enough of us send an email in, they start to multiply. They start to hear that there's a bunch of squeaky wheels, and we need to be squeakier. We need to be squeakier wheels than the wheels who are against teaching critical race theory and who are pro archaic definitions of gender and wanting to keep sports weird and genital based. I don't know
What genital-based
why
sports
keep
for children?
sports
Who
genital
wants
based?
that?
I don't know what.
Today, also in
Not a
like an
sports
hour or two,
person,
this is happening today. You can watch it at the website at the state. You can watch the proceedings at that website. But this is something that's happening today. A bunch of just to, if you want to watch shit go down and see people be very into giving testimony.
About their hatred of bedbugs.
I hope so. The landlords have unionized actually, and they are against that bill. Pretty weird. They're against all of these. It's pretty interesting. So it's going to be an interesting, get a coloring book.
Yeah.
This is absolutely true. This is what they think, that we are obsessed. They think that we are obsessed with and by we I mean.
But I'm gonna tell you, if I see a penguin with boobs, she better be on the girls female team, or
Well, she
on the
gotta
co-ed
be, like,
mix.
stacked. Like, it can't be like one weird boob or like
No,
kinda...
they have to be perfectly symmetrical, like a nice D cup, like a 36D, real nice looking set of boobs on that penguin.
Oh, nice.
I just it kind of looked like boobs when it was breaking through, and I just
Yeah, because otherwise, we just don't know. We don't know. We don't want kids to start learning, thinking that they're gay if they're not seeing heterosexual penguins.
It's a slippery slope. These are the same people who said they was a slippery slope 10 years ago, and now they're making their legislation, copying it from Florida and Idaho and putting it in Rhode Island.
Yeah, we're just waiting. There is...
Oh, wait, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Hang on.
I know there's definitely going to be a time where we see some of these representatives who are opposing this bill. We're going to see them in some uncouth pictures. We're gonna be like, oh, that was why. Your grandkids found some photos. Anyways, so damn snakes. Let's take it out. We're already at our time. Thanks, Siobhan. This show flew by. Thanks for being game for our
This is an older one, but do you have anything coming up?
Oh yeah, that's an older one. I do have another one coming up. It's on the 22nd, I think.
Where can people find that info? Is this the best place? This is from your Instagram.
Yeah. That's from my Instagram. It's the best place to find it. I started doing joy facilitation, which is kind of like improv, but like you're able to just say heavier things per se, and like 3 things that make you want to die. This bill, you're like, yeah. It's kind of like dredging it up, but in a playful way.
In a playful way. And then at the end you can say this, and don't forget to change your name at the end. That is very cool. Thank you for bringing joy to me and Bowler and Pepper as well, and all of our friends at home. Thank you for being joyful with me.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. As an Irish lass, it feels good to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and also kind of shit on St. Patrick a little bit,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we're doing nothing if not celebrating the snakes in our state the same way, right?
Oh, snakes, nice.
Yeah, that was the best one. That was the best Sneaky Snakes one. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. That is our time. We'll see you next Who's Around for more improv-based therapeutic discussions.
Sneaky Snakes!
Who's around right now, baby, right now? Doing improv, baby, right now, now. Who's around right now, baby, right now? Doing improv, baby, right now.